The date is 22 BBY. The planet, Christophsis. Anakin Skywalker, the newly crowned Jedi Knight and the chosen one of the Jedi Order, and his master, Jedi Master, and member of the Jedi Council Obi-Wan Kenobi are tasked with defending the planet of Christophsis from the Separatist droid army. Accompanied by the 501st and 212th Clone Legions respectively, they work their way to a bridge to fight the last remaining droids on that side of the planet. After the battle, they get word of reinforcements, including a Jedi Padawan. Upon hearing that there could potentially be a new character in Star Wars, I was apprehensive due to the thought of this Jedi just being a carbon copy of Skywalker or Kenobi. It would have been cool if they were a woman, but if they were human, that would still be unsatisfactory due to the overabundance of humans in the Star Wars universe. It's a galaxy that's supposed to be far, far away, and yet the only major species in it is human? That doesn't sit right with me. Anyway, the gunship cruiser approaches the landing platform as Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker wait for the new youngling. And then, something would happen that would make me fall in love with this series for the rest of my childhood.
A youngling?
And who are you supposed to be?
I'm Ahsoka. Master Yoda sent me. I was told to tell both of you that you must get back to the Jedi Temple immediately.
She's not a human? She's actually diverse from the regular characters we see in Star Wars? The show is saved. Ahsoka Tano has always been my favorite character in Star Wars. I want to go into detail on the initial fan reaction to Ahsoka Tano, why I looked up to Ahsoka Tano and other female characters in media, and what makes Ahsoka Tano the greatest character in all of Star Wars. With that, for those of you who've been subscribed for a long time, I want to apologize for my lack of uploads as of late. I'm currently in school and it's hard trying to get work done while balancing a YouTube channel, so I just wanted to say thanks for sticking around. As for the new viewers, please consider subscribing. It's free, it helps me figure out what kind of content you guys want to see, and if you have any issues with my content or me as a person, you can always unsubscribe. Thank you. With that, let's get into the video. The initial reaction by fans to the sudden arrival of this new and foreign character was very negative, and it was justly so. Ahsoka was a sort of goody two-shoes who never got her comeuppance. Whenever she disobeyed a direct order from her master, Anakin Skywalker, she barely got a slap on the wrist. Safe to say the origins of this character were very flawed. But she was flawed on purpose. Dave Filoni, the creator of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and apprentice to George Lucas, wanted fans to get annoyed by Ahsoka so that way the character had motivation to redeem herself. I was never a hardcore fan of Star Wars. I only enjoyed it for what it was. It provided an escape for me to go on adventures in a galaxy far, far away. With that, I would like to apologize for not remembering specific episodes. I remember Season 2 being an eventful season for Ahsoka. The first episode of the season, she disobeyed her masters, Anakin and Obi-Wan's order to meet them in a gunship to leave the area that was being ambushed. Ahsoka, being a naive child, thought that the droids were retreating. In reality, they were falling back to get more reinforcements. This resulted in many clones losing their lives. Another episode was Ahsoka's biggest failure, which resulted in the death of an entire fighter squadron, where she refused to retreat back to the Star Destroyer that Anakin was on. Anakin represented the fans' reaction to Ahsoka. We loved her, but we hated seeing her be so ignorant. Anakin, after many episodes, finally had his last straw and told Ahsoka the who, for, and whatnot. Everything that we wanted to tell Ahsoka, Anakin summed up. She was stubborn, loudmouthed, overly arrogant. She disobeyed direct orders, not just from him, but from Obi-Wan as well. And from that day forward, Ahsoka Tano would be better. She would be the role model for little girls who love Star Wars everywhere. And she would go on to be my hero, and my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. I believe it was the Season 2 finale. Ahsoka Tano had lost her lightsaber and thus went on a scavenge across the entire planet of Coruscant, the capital planet of the Republic, to look for it. A Jedi's weapon is their life, so to lose it would be like losing a part of themselves. Along the way, Ahsoka learned from a wise Jedi Master about the virtue of patience and the usefulness of Force meditation. This was it. After an awful movie and 2 lackluster seasons, Ahsoka Tano had finally redeemed herself and could start to develop as a more mature Jedi. She would go on to be the most prominent figure of my childhood. I've always looked up to women in fiction. It isn't that I'm a feminist, although there is absolutely nothing wrong with being one. I just really like women. Simp. I looked up to the likes of Ahsoka Tano, Padme Amidala, and Princess Leia from Star Wars, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline from Adventure Time, and Hermione Granger, Ginny Weasley, and Lily Potter from Harry Potter. I guess with all the talk of men in these stories, I was bored of the normal go save the princess stories that were told to me constantly in preschool and kindergarten. I'd much rather see a bad chick kick the heads off of some bad guys or some robots than some pansy knight hiding in a suit of armor to protect him from a dragon who's just minding their own business. Ahsoka Tano was a woman who was kind, caring, compassionate, and embodied everything good about the Jedi Order. However, just like with other religious institutions, she asked questions about the Jedi which led to her expulsion from the Order and the disassociation from her friends such as Aayla Secura, Plo Koon, Luminara Unduli, Shaak Ti, and even her closest friend and possibly girlfriend, Barriss Offee. The reason why I say potential is because this was the mid-2000s and homosexuality was frowned upon in film and television during this time. But, I mean, come on. This scene.
Hello, Master Fisto. We're ready to pick up the supplies.
We'll take care of that. You rest now, Ahsoka.
Anyway, I looked up to Ahsoka because of her childlike wonder of the galaxy. She was kind of like a big sister figure to me. She was someone who subconsciously told me that it was okay for girls to like boy things and boys to like girl things. Look at me. I'm a 5'11", 180 to 185 pound college student who loves bubblegum pop music, snuggling with teddy bears, and drinking tea. Despite my luscious beard, I'm not the epitome of masculinity. On the other hand, I'm not a toxic masculine person either. I love weightlifting, running, wrestling, MMA, and other healthy masculine hobbies. Even making YouTube videos seems to be a man-dominated sphere. Regardless, because of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and other shows from my childhood, I grew an admiration and appreciation for the women of this world who get things done, and it was all thanks to Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano was played by the incredibly talented voice actress Ashley Eckstein. Ashley Eckstein is a woman who, unlike Catherine Kennedy, actually cared about positive, multi-dimensional female representation in Star Wars. She wanted Ahsoka to have depth to her character. She didn't want a know-it-all goody two-shoes Mary Sue to come in and overmind the Chosen One just because she's a whammon. Ashley played the character with respect and humility that is unrivaled in the Star Wars universe and family. Due to the overwhelming amount of positive energy towards Ahsoka Tano and Ashley Eckstein's performance, Ashley realized and brought it up to George Lucas and Dave Filoni that little girls and women actually made up 50% of the Star Wars fanbase. This prompted Ashley and other female figures at Lucasfilms to start their own clothing line called Her Universe, a brand that celebrated women in pop culture and geek culture as a whole. It subjectively told everyone that it was okay for women to like things that aren't traditionally feminine. Why am I bringing this up? Because if one person from a small-time kids television show on Cartoon Network can have that sort of impact on the Star Wars franchise as a whole, then why couldn't an entire group of people whose job it is to accommodate for demographics do that for Rey's character in the sequel trilogy? I'll tell you why. Heart. The character of Ahsoka Tano prided herself on heart. She had an unyielding faith in the one she loved. She cared deeply for the likes of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, and wouldn't let anyone take advantage of her. She was a strong, intelligent role model for kids and adults alike, and paved the way for those of lesser quality, Rey, to take her place as the rightful queen of the Star Wars fandom. It is of many reasons why Ahsoka Tano is the greatest character in Star Wars of all time. There's a lot of hate in the world right now. We are more divided as a species more than ever over a few petty differences. With all the fighting in the world, I think we could all take something from the things we like. Whether it's friends over institution, self-defense over cowardice, or any other subject, it's important to apply ourselves to something that we are passionate about. Ahsoka taught me to stick to your core beliefs and have an open mind. She had a type of love that could only be expressed through sadness and grief. When she left the Order, Anakin Skywalker told her that he knew what it was like to want to leave the Order.
I understand. More than you realize, I understand wanting to walk away from the Order.
I know.
She knew the love that Anakin and Padme Amidala had. Unlike the other Jedi, she respected those who disagreed with her points of view instead of labeling people based on who they associated themselves with. Ahsoka would try to see them as individuals whose needs are just as parallel to her own. I am of the belief that she was a genuinely good role model for kids and an artist in the Jedi Order. Long gone are the days of Prince Charming riding up to the top of the castle to reach a poor damsel who couldn't be bothered to get off her lazy butt to escape the tower herself. Ahsoka used her wit, strength, compassion, and wonder to make the Jedi Order and the galaxy a better place. This is why I look up to Ahsoka Tano. This is why I look up to female characters in fiction. Sure, none of them may be perfect, but the ones who are close represent empowerment and beauty for those whose talents go unmatched. The world could use more empowerment today. Maybe we should all take from Ahsoka Tano to help those who are in need. Because one day, our goods will may be rewarded.